Vasudevasutam devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. When we see life's situations from the pinhole of our individuality or ego, when we are at a lower level, every obstacle that comes in our way appears huge. When Arjuna was facing his life situation, no doubt it was not an easy life incident. It was a battle, and that too also with one's own relatives. And here it was not just about winning the battle, it was either winning or dying, killing or losing. He had no other option. All endeavors to bring about peace had been done. The war was inevitable. And facing this daunting situation in front of him, the problem appeared so mighty that Arjuna could not see a solution. If he wins, there is loss of life and of dear ones. At the same time, if he loses, there is still destruction. What will Arjuna do? In life, very often, we meet situations where we get confused, we get confounded, we also lose confidence. And there is no clarity on what should be our course of action, what we should be doing, and how we should be doing, so that we not only get success, but that success is satisfying and fulfilling. Arjuna, who has been excellent in his field, he has attained excellence in archery. He is one of the best warriors. And then that Arjuna feels such despondency. So you can imagine, when we face life situations, how can we attain excellence? Because when the mind is agitated, when the mind is disturbed, when there is confusion, lack of confidence, naturally there is the experience of fear, anxiety, and sorrow. But Bhagwan's first message of the Geeta is that we grieve for that we should not grieve for. Asochan anvasochastvam. And yet we develop so much knowledge, or we gain so much knowledge as information. And if that knowledge of life does not remove our sorrows, our inefficiencies, then of what use is that knowledge that is not called as knowledge by the great masters. Knowledge is that which removes our ignorance, and when our ignorance has ended, we are clear. We have a clear vision of life, clarity of purpose, and the intelligence and the confidence to plan out our actions and perform our actions to the best of our capacity. When Arjuna felt there so helpless, the Krishna's way of treatment is that if we keep our vision vast, our goals high and noble, and we have a clear knowledge of ourselves and the clarity of our duty, then with the right attitude when we work, excellence is the reward that we gain. And know that Arjuna was excellent in his field, but life as a whole requires a holistic vision of life. And in the Bhagavad Gita, it is pointed as a sattvic vision. 3 are the modes and moods of creation and of our mind. When we have a sattvic vision, a vision with clarity, then we can have the right intelligence to discriminate, to be clear of what is right and what is wrong, and have that determination, that perseverance by which we stop not till we reach our goal. And the end result of that, we experience that happiness that comes from excellence in the performance of our action. Success then is a byproduct. This sattvic vision, where in that vastness of that vision, we have an all-comprehensive and all-encompassing knowledge of everything, where we see the oneness, the permanent, the unity in the diversity, and that which is permanent in midst of all the impermanent. When we have that vision, and from the heights of that vision, when we view life, then as we see from a high altitude, even the mighty boulders and hills of obstacles that we may encounter when we are on the plains appear insignificant. For an ant crawling on the path, even a boulder is a huge obstacle. But for a bird that flies, an eagle that dares to move to the greatest heights, even a mountain appears insignificant. Therefore, Bhagwan's way of treatment is that first and foremost, lift your mind to that heights of knowledge from where you can get an all-encompassing view, the vastness of vision, and from where you have a clear perspective of the world and where you stand. Therefore, in the very beginning, Bhagwan does not try to solve the problem by just telling Arjuna what he should do or what he should not do. Because Arjuna has already got confused. He sees the situation as a problem that cannot be solved. He sees life situations greater, mightier than himself. And Bhagwan first gives self-knowledge, Atma-gyan, where he points out to Arjuna that become fearless. And how to become fearless? That is to recognize that the self, I, am infinite, I am permanent. Infinite we cannot comprehend with our minds. But in the ever-changing world, what we are constantly seeking is permanence. We want permanent success, permanent happiness, permanent love, permanent relationships. We are constantly seeking that which is permanent. And Bhagwan indicates that we should not even fear death. For a warrior in life, and for any situations that we fear in life, one who has conquered the fear of death and change, such a warrior can meet any challenge, any situation in life without fear and anxiety, and can put in his or her best in that activity, in that field of action, and bring about that glorious success. Therefore, Bhagwan points out first and foremost that the self, the Atma, I, Arjuna, in each and every one of us, with no exception whatsoever, is eternal and permanent. And Bhagwan, through the authority of the scriptures, which is the direct experience of all great masters who discovered the truth, with logic, so that our intellect can understand, with examples and proofs, indicates to us who we are. And Bhagwan points out that every body which we see born will change and perish. So every body may die, but nobody ever dies. For the self that goes through childhood, youth, adulthood, even old age. And this is our direct experience, that I am the very same one in my infant body, my childhood body, my youth, as well as during my adulthood, and even as we move into our old age. I am the same when the body has changed, and itself shows that in this body itself, which undergoes change, I am permanent. And therefore, Bhagwan points out that while this body perishes at every stage of our life, and yet I remain permanent, then be sure that you are not this body. And when this body perishes, that we call as death, I do not die. What is real and what is unreal, we must know very clearly. That which was not there before, but which seems to appear and then disappear, then in the middle also it is not there. And therefore it is unreal, even though it appears. Just as a mirage at a distance appears, but when you go close, it disappears. Not that it suddenly evaporated, it was never there. But what was permanent was the sand on which the mirage appeared. So what is permanent? What is impermanent? First we must know about ourselves. And when we recognize ourselves to be immortal, imperishable, and recognize that this self na jayate, na mriyate kadachit, is never born or created. And therefore, that which is not created, not born, and which was always there, there is no death, no perishing of that. Because if it has not been created, there was not a time where it was not there. There will also never be a time that it will not be there. These beautiful verses from the Upanishads, which Bhagwan has literally bodily lifted and put here as authority, and with his logic has explained that the Atma, the self, is permanent, not created. Even this notion that we have that God created a soul or a being, if it is created, it will perish. Eternal heaven or hell will also not be possible. It is ajaha. It is nityaha. It is shashvataha. It is puranaha. Any possibility of even change and modification is not possible in that which is real, which is eternal, which is uncreated, unchanging, imperishable. And we have to know that such a self, Atma, I, never ever perishes. Not can weapons cleave it, not can fire burn it, nor can water drown it, nor air dry it. These are beautiful verses given in the Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter. And na hanyate hanyamane sharire. That even when this body is killed or this body perishes, this Atma, this I, the self, is imperishable. And Bhagavan says very clearly, Avinashi tu tad viddhi, yena sarvam idam tatam. That know that to be imperishable, that which permeates everything. If you take different mud pots, or you take different pieces of your gold jewelry, the names, forms, shapes, and its utilities change. You can melt a ring and you can say that the ring perished. But that which permeates the ring, that never perishes. What perishes, what permeates the ring, the bangle, the different ornaments is gold. And its cause, that which lends the ring, the bangle, the chain its existence, that which permeates it, that gold does not perish even when the form of the ring or the bangle or the chain perishes. And with this knowledge, when you know that that which permeates everything in this world, that which changes is only names and forms, but that which gives it existence, that existence is always present. It is present in every object of the world. It is present even when, say, a tree is cut down as a log, that log exists. When it is cut into pieces and made furniture, the furniture exists. When the furniture perishes to become just pieces of wood, the wood is. You make it into pulp, the pieces are no longer there. The pulp and the paper exists. That which permeates everything. And when you come to yourself, each limb is different. But even if one limb is cut off, I am present. What pervades all through the different stages of our body's growth, that which is present all times, that which permeates every part of the body, which is there even when one part of the body is removed, operated, that self does not perish. And with that knowledge, when we see life situation, with that altitude, when we see, then always know, I am far greater, I am far bigger, I am far larger, and I am more permanent, or I am permanent compared to any life situations, problems, difficulties that I may confront, because all of them are changing. But when I know that I am permanent, you know that no problem, not even failure or death, nor any calamity can bring an end to me, which is or who is permanent. And when we have this knowledge of our self, then no life situation which is changing and perishing cannot be faced. And therefore Bhagavan says that all our life experiences, however mighty and daunting they may appear, are only impermanent. And holding on to your eternal nature, even if you don't do anything, but you are able to bear, then know that this too shall pass away. No life situation, even death, cannot affect you. And therefore, do not ever lose confidence. Do not ever lose hope. Do not ever feel defeated. Do not ever be fearful. Be firm and steady. But at the same time, what happens when the body dies? Even then, that subtle body, mind and intellect, endowed with the consciousness, the self, goes from body to body. And Bhagavan says that even if you do not recognize the eternity of the self, then why worry, grieve, or feel defeated if you feel also that life is nothing but birth and death, and nothing is beyond also? Even if you are an atheist, then if this is the life you have, make the best of it and make every moment of your life happy. Make every action of yours excellent, so that moment to moment in life you remain happy. Whatever may be your philosophy of life, Remember that life is beautiful when we express our excellence. And when we have expressed our potential to the best of our capacity, the reward that we get from life is fulfillment. Then, with this knowledge, how do we bring about excellence in our action? And at the same time, how do we, moment to moment, exceed excellence to reach that state of perfection? That is the theme of the Geeta. Altitude, attitude. We have spoken about the altitude. Now we will speak about the attitude. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
Doing your job or functions in the world outside and fulfilling your duties in the world with an ideal constantly keeping in your intellect, buddhi, intellect. Holding on to a great ideal without compromising with that ideal, live on diligently and courageously and heroically in the world outside, performing your duties without any desire for gratification or applauses from others. It is immaterial for you. You are doing it yudhaya yudhyasva. You are doing that job for the joy of fulfilling the job and not for the acclamation of others or the approbation of the wise. They may not appreciate what you are doing. You do your job. That is called freedom. You are coming to this world. You got only one life. Why are you wasting that life imitating others? Hey, everybody is doing, therefore I am doing. Are you a monkey? The monkeys always repeat what others are doing. No, you are an independent entity. This is the God-given freedom for you to live your life inspired by your ideal. Maybe that ideal is wrong. Never mind. You have hold on to that ideal. Then by thus living with one ideal in your mind when you are living, what is the benefit? He is explaining the psychological changes that would come in that individual. Vyavasayatmika buddhi. One who is maintaining thus one ideal in the intellect and without any compromising with it, face all challenges that may come in the world, but always make a beeline to your goal, your ideal. By thus doing, the mind and intellect equipment becomes single-pointed. All great achievements are done, whether it is the material world, political field, scientific field, or in spirituality, all achievements are because of the integrated personality. Making money. How do you make millions? Not by wandering mind. No, you cannot. Single-pointed, uncompromising. What will be the condition of the market? Doesn't matter. Plan it out. They become rich. Single point. Thus when you learn the art of living with your conviction or your ideal, your mind becomes ekeha kurunandana. The mind becomes single-pointed. There is nothing that is not possible in this world with a single-pointed mind.
Imagine a world from a new perspective. A world without barriers between people. One where we see unity in diversity. One where we can positively disrupt the norm. To change the world, holistic and innovative education is essential. That is what we find at Chinmaya University. We unlocked India's vast treasures of wisdom through Sanskrit. By combining Indian knowledge traditions and modern cutting-edge education, remarkable transformations are created in how you think, sparking innovations and discoveries. Our amazing culture and Indian knowledge traditions empowers us with tools to face any challenges life brings our way. Our vision is rooted in deep love for all beings. It's about being self-inclusive and serving all spontaneously and untiringly. This is our measure of success. We aim to make our graduates true role models. Their leadership will create a more harmonious, equal, and united world. All of us are needed to make a positive impact on the world. Every single one of us. Now you decide how you want to be a part of it.
During all the unprecedented challenges of life, our mind can either be our greatest support or our biggest hurdle. The moment we are able to be in charge of our mind and look after our mental and spiritual health, we are able to be in charge of our joys and sorrows. Join Puja Swami Swaroopananda, Global Head of Chinmaya Mission, as he empowers us with a toolkit to unravel the hidden secrets of our mind, enabling us to be the manager of our own destiny. Chinmaya Mission UK presents Well-Being, Mental and Spiritual Workshop with Puja Swami Swaroopananda on Sunday 27th September from 9:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. BST via Zoom. Register now to secure your place.
जय भगवत गीते मैया जय भगवत गीते हरिया कमल विहारिणि सुंदर सुपुनीते मैया जय भगवत गीते कर्म सुमन दैवी सद्गुणदायिनी हरि रसिका सजनी मैया जय भगवत गीते। समता त्याग सिखावे हरि मुख की वाणी सकल शास्त्र की स्वामी श्रुतियों की रानी मैया जय भगवत